Hello, everyone. This is Julie Miller Davis of JMD Productivity, bringing you our monthly live show, All the Things with Julie Miller Davis. So excited to be here with you today. Just a little bit of background about us here. All the Things with Julie Miller Davis came about because I was speaking with my LinkedIn and PR expert, Kate Payne, and I was doing a monthly Q&A called Power Up Your Productivity, which is going to be coming to you a few times every year. But we decided that we would do a live interview show because what happens with a lot of business owners and why my business exists is because so many women are trying to do all the things. And in my arsenal, in my bubble of people, I have a lot of people who can help you do all the things so that you're not doing them yourself. So what I want you to be able to do is focus on the things that you need to focus on and that you need to do and that only you can do. And let's bring in people and experts who can help you sort through all the other things that you're doing in your business and stop juggling all those balls yourself. And so that's really how this came about. I want you to be able to focus on your productivity and your health and your family and let other people start coming in and working with you on your business. At JMD Productivity Training, we help people reset their habits and patterns so they can start doing the right things instead of all the things. That's the name of this show. Just a little note here. One of my goals for 2023 is to read a business book or some sort of a productivity business, some kind of book each month to enhance what I can bring to you, what I bring to people in my newsletter, what I am bringing to the people in my programs and in my events and things like that. And so this month, I'm actually going to be starting with, I'm reading a book right now called The Inner Game of Tennis. And I know that most of you probably are not tennis players, but here's the beauty of The Inner Game of Tennis is all about focusing on what is working and what feels right. And it's the inner game. So it's all about your mindset and what's in your head. And so it's been really helpful, not only for my tennis game, but also thinking about things in my business in a new way, as far as not all things work the same for all people. And so figuring out what in a sales call works for me might not be what works for you or everyone else, but we have the same sort of foundational ideas about it. And then we go in and tweak it to work for us. And so it's that kind of a thing. So let's get to our guest today. Today, I am talking with Milena Dlugi, based in Milwaukee. Milena and I actually met through the Idea Collective community. And you remember that I talked to Pat Miller of the Idea Collective last month. And so Milena and I actually had a really great connection early on in our relationship through the Idea Collective. And it just sort of got solidified when I went to the Idea Collective retreat in November. She is a native Polish and bilingual Polish speaking and English speaking woman. She's amazing. Born and raised in Poland. Since 2019, she's been a permanent resident of the US. She has moving her personal and professional life to the United States was a humongous step, but she has not regretted it for 1 second. She is so fascinating. Her story is so fascinating. Some things to know about her. She's a constant learner. She's a graduate of Dale Carnegie Training in Effective Communication and Human Relations and Chicago Writers Association Scholarship winner. With years of experience as a full-time employee in the legal industry in Poland and recently in the US, she created her own business, Milena Elite. Milena Elite is a business virtual assistant helping small business owners translate their problems into solutions. As their support system, Milena gives them their time and their life back. Imagine, so that they can focus on the things they love and the things that I'm going to add and the things that they need to be working on in their business. So they don't have to worry about the behind the scenes processes. With a perfect mixture of procedure and objectivity, they can rely on her work to be accurate and on time in free time. In her free time, Milena loves taking road trips with her husband and discovering new places in the US, which she and I are going to be talking about as we get through our conversation today. So I want to welcome to our live stream, Milena Dlugi. Hello.
Hi, Julie. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. Is there anything else that I didn't say in the intro that you would like to add about your business and about what you do?
Yeah, your intro was really great. Thank you so much for the introduction. I like to think that I'm a sounding board for my clients. I like to think that I'm a partner in their business to make sure that I support their business. Because sometimes, as we all are business owners, sometimes we don't know what we don't see in our own business. So it's good to have that second pair of eyes to look at the business and making sure that they don't miss anything, or maybe they need some extra help, some kind of details that they missed, and make sure that their business is visible and potential clients can see them. So I like to think about myself that I'm their partner in their business and in their business growth.
I love that. I love that. And one of my number one strengths and values is communication. And so I love that you are, I mean, that's obviously based on what you've done in your educating yourself and programs that you've taken. Communication is a really big, important thing for you, which is probably why we also resonate with each other so well.
Yeah, definitely. That Dale Carnegie, I got that opportunity. It was just right after I moved here. So I started networking with different people, and somebody mentioned Dale Carnegie, invited me. And I feel that was a really good change for me, because as a newbie in US, it's such a different world and such a different market. If it goes about business, if it goes a job search. When I was back then in a job search, when I started Dale Carnegie, it was also like going from a job search to full-time employee. So it was a huge, great opportunity for me to learn more about communication, especially if you are moving from one country to another one.
Yeah. That's a great point. I hadn't even thought about that. So at JMD Productivity, we're all about habits and largely about your habits around time. Talk to me about your own habits around time, calendaring, that kind of thing.
I think I haven't thought about that before I moved to the US. But once I moved here, I started more going into self-development. And those habits, I noticed that they are very important if you want to move forward in your life, in your even in personal life, not only professional life. So for me, it's starting my day at the gym. Even today, 5:30 at the gym with the group of amazing women just working out, because I feel like when I start my day for my physical body, my mind is working much better for the entire day. So for me, that workout at the gym at the beginning of the day, it's place to go and be. Because it sets the entire my day. So, and we have to be focused in our business, how we put our task through the day, and we don't forget something, and we making sure that we touch all the points.
Awesome. And Milena, since I've known you, you've been really, that is the most important thing to you to start your day, is that piece of exercise and doing what you do so early in the morning. And I know a lot of women struggle with integrating that into their businesses and into their lives. Things seem to always come in to sort of hijack that. And so I just appreciate so much how dedicated you are to that aspect of your day, and how important it is for you and in your life. What in your business, your business is very young, but tell me about, is there been a roadblock or a problem in your business, like something you had to overcome And how did you solve it? How did you get through it?
Mhm. So one thing that I noticed almost approaching the end of 2022, it was I started feeling that my calendar is taking over me instead of me taking over my calendar.
Yes.
So that was a great discovery for me, because that set me to my goal to make sure that I know how to manage my calendar,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you are young in a business like me. There is so many things that you want to touch all the time, and I always was about jumping different type of pieces and forgetting that I should stay focused. So that was one of my goals when I was finishing 2022, that my calendar management needs to be much better, and I have to focus on that and making sure that the calendar doesn't take me over. I'm taking over my calendar.
Yes, yes. And that's one of the big pieces of marketing that I've talked about in the past is I ask women a lot of times, are you in control of your calendar, or do you feel like your calendar is controlling you? And sometimes it's even, are you controlling your clients? Are they controlling you? Are you controlling your family? Are they controlling you? Like, if we're not taking control of things, especially our calendar, so we end up at the end of the day wondering what in the world we did all day long, at the end of the week, whenever, because we just lost all control because we let everything come in, and started putting out fires and working on what was in front of us rather than what was actually lined out for us for the day. So
Yeah, that's so
um,
true.
yeah, yeah. um so you already talked about the exercise portion, and in the intro I talked about how you and your husband are traveling around the US, and so I think you've answered this a little bit, but I'd love you to talk about it a little bit more, how you energize or recharge your personal battery. For you, I mean, you've already mentioned these couple of things, and maybe you just want to talk further about one of them, or maybe there's something else that we don't know about.
So sometimes when I start feeling that, I'm working, for me, when I start working, it's hard to step away. When I get focused on something, it's like, and then I realize that I'm getting tired and my mind doesn't work the same way like it did when I started an hour or two ago. And
Yeah.
that is like a point for me. You have to step away. It can be simple, like just standing up from the chair, take a little walk around the apartment, maybe get out for a drive. And especially when I work on the content for my clients, uh, I like to step away. Sometimes it's going to be an hour, sometimes it's going to be 2 hours, sometimes it's going to be for a day if I'm working on specific content, even for my clients or for my business, because I know then I can sleep on it. I can think about that more in a deep thoughts, and I can come back with the fresh eyes, fresh perspective the next day. So that's stepping away and knowing when to take a pause for a moment.
Yeah, so important, so important. And not to mention the exercise that you already talked about earlier today. For me, and I talk about this every month when we come on. I have most Tuesdays marked off my calendar. In the summer I play golf, in the fall I play golf, but right now my goal is to ski, run up to the mountains, which is a couple hours to the ski area, at least 2 Tuesdays a month, and so that I can, through January, February, March, really fill, because that fills me up. It makes me so happy, and to not ski on the weekend makes me really happy also without the crowds. But I also take those mornings on Wednesday mornings. I play tennis all year long. We move to indoor courts in the winter, and so and hiking on the weekends, no matter the weather, it are all things that I do to recharge and to kind of fill me up. Um, I would like everybody to think about, if me time is time on the couch, watching television and movies. Yes, that's it's good for us to sit and relax, but if we can find something that fills us up, that has active participation in it, there's something about those endorphins. There's something about all of that energy, because um, lack of movement breeds lack of movement. and movement breeds energy. And so, yes, we do need to relax and rest, actively rest sometimes, but sometimes we need to get off the couch and actually move, and it makes us feel better instead of more lethargic.
Yes, and I feel that the movement is the best re-energizing thing that we can do for ourselves. And I admire you, Julie, because you going on a ski. I'm not a winter person, even though I live in Wisconsin. When I see your picture somewhere there in a winter outfit, I'm like, I just admire you for doing that.
Thank you. I am a winter baby. My birthday was last month, and I have always loved winter. And those 2 years that I lived in Arizona when I first graduated from college, oh God, I just missed it. I missed it so much. There's something about Wisconsin is a little different. We have so much sun in the wintertime here, and the snow actually melts in between, like in the city. It melts,
Yes.
not in the mountains. But we get these, we call them bluebird days. Like, I mean, deep velvet blue skies against the snow. It's just it's beautiful. So I just love it.
I love Colorado Springs, so
yeah,
I know what you mean.
You do love Colorado Springs. That's right. So can you tell me what is one productivity tool or tip that you have implemented in your business? Is there something that I have taught you, because you've been on a few of my things? Is there anything I've taught you that you've implemented and that's really worked for you? Or maybe you have something else for us that we would love to know.
So recently, because my calendar management was my big goal, I decided to change my calendar tool. I know that there is so many different calendar tools that you can use, and I would say this, that everyone is different. So you have to do your research and your work, what's going to fit for you the best. I'm a visual person, so I needed some colors into my calendar.
Okay.
Then I know which color, what means, and then I can track how much time I spend on which type of task, to make sure that I'm accountable for myself, that I'm spending my time in a productive way, the way I want, and not like before I was not paying too much attention to that. But because my calendar management became my goal, this is how I approach 2023. And the other tool that also, it's CRM system. If you want to be on track with your clients, your leads, your contacts, get yourself a good CRM system. And again, there is so many, I did so many research, but it depends how you feel about that particular CRM, if it fits you, if you can work on it easily and not gonna get distracted by any additional tools, because some of them are really huge CRMs that maybe your business doesn't need right now. So focus what you need right now, and just, it's gonna help you to, first of all, get all your contacts in the system. The other thing, you're gonna see who is your client, who is potential lead for your business, and how to stay in communication with those people, because we don't want to forget people, and that wouldn't be a good for your business.
Absolutely. So if someone comes in and hires you, what do you think the number one point of relief is that you give them?
I think they can feel that I am there for their business, because before we decided to work together, I offer a free consultation, and it's at least an hour consultation, because I want to get to know the business that my potential clients coming in, and making sure that I can help them. Because as we know that sometimes it might be not the right fit for us or even for them. It's all about that good communication from the start, and to see if this is the right fit and I can help them. So that consultation, this is something that I always provide before we even agree to work together. But once we start working together, I know that they can feel relief that those tasks behind the scenes are taken care of, and they can focus on those things that they love the most. And you mentioned that, yes, growing on your business, but I had potential client that we started conversation with, and I was saying him, like, I will take this over, so you will get that free time for your business, for things that you love. And he said, yeah, and sometimes I just need a time to spend for my kids, with my kids. So it's everyone is different. Some people prefer to get more time more on a personal side. Some people will focus more on growing their business. So each business is different. I am there to support their goals, to making sure what kind of goals they have, what kind of goals they want to achieve, and support them in those goals.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you. Milena, I'm going to ask you another question here in a second, but because we just talked about kind of how you help people get stuff off their plate and that you have, kind of discovery sessions with them to see if you're a good fit. I'm wondering if you can tell us what the best way is for people to seek you out and find you.
Oh, definitely. LinkedIn, if it goes about social media, I just fall in love with that platform. I'm always there every day.
Yes.
So they can send me a message there. Also, they can go on my website, milenaelite.com. There is a contact form. There is link to my calendar. They can set up meeting with me, and I'm happy to have a conversation.
Yes. And then on LinkedIn, if you all decide to message her on LinkedIn, would you let her know that you saw all the things? Because then she knows where you came from and that you saw this interview and you had that connection to her as well. And that way, she knows where you came from as well. And we'd love to know that we're helping you make connections here at All the Things. The next question I have for you is, is there anything that you're reading or listening to in this professional development arena that our listeners, our watchers need to check out?
Oh, I love books. And I already wrote the book that you recommended
The
at the
Inner Game of
beginning.
Tennis. It's very philosophical, and there's a lot of tennis, of course, tennis stuff in there, but the things in between the examples of tennis are so good. So good.
I love tennis. I used to play a little, not really professional, but more like a hobby. So I definitely looking always forward for a good books. I'm a big, huge book lovers. When I listen, I have to more focus, but with books, I also have my notebooks next to me because I always take my notes. I have a notebook for notes from the book. I have for quotes that I can use in the future for me or for my clients too, because I'm a huge quote fan. And one of the books I read many books especially since I moved to the US, if it goes about self-development. One of the book that stood out for me was The Laws of Human Nature. It's kind of really long, heavy book because it's almost like 500 pages, but it got me interested with the author, last name Green. I forgot his first name, but that was a year ago or so. But he shows each chapter is a different law of human nature. But what I learned from that book, that we all are different, and we should realize that each person has a different approach to different things for life, for business, and we should just respect each other the way we are created. The current book that I'm reading, that friend gave me to read, is The Magic of Big Thinking. A Magic of Thinking Big.
Yeah.
It's really good book that feels like there is no things impossible if you only put your mindset what you want to achieve.
That's a great, again, a mindset book, right? And how we make ourselves know that we're able to do more and there's more out there for us to do and to do better and bigger. And with Milena's help and maybe JMD Productivity, you don't have to do it all. It doesn't have to cost you more time necessarily.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for being here and for sharing. And hopefully people will dig in and go to your website, milenaelite.com, to find you on LinkedIn and connect with you. If you even go into my connections, you can find her that way. If you haven't written down her last name so that you can find her. I thank you so much for your time. It's so good to see your face.
Oh, it's so good to see you too, Julie. I can only say that you're amazing. Since the first event that I attended, your event, I learned a lot, especially those how to handle my task list, which can be, many pages. But thanks to you, I'm focusing on those small free tasks every day just to get them done. Or also the other thing that you said, think if you can delegate it, or maybe you should dump it. So,
Dump it.
so that was eyes opening from you. So thank you so much, Julie. I really always appreciate our conversation, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just going to talk for a few minutes about what we've got coming up at JMD Productivity Training. Thank you.
Thank you.
Milena. So at JMD Productivity Training, we have some things coming up. First of all, don't forget to look up these books that Milena talked about, as well as finding her on LinkedIn and connecting with her, because we are all about connection and growing community here at JMD Productivity Training. Please mark your calendars. Tame your task list. The 3-day jumpstart that Milena was just talking about is coming up February 21st, 22nd, 23rd from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Mountain Time those days. And you give me 90 minutes for 3 days. It will change everything in what you're getting done, how you're getting it done, and making sure that you are in control of your calendar. As well, we also have all the things coming up next month in February. Let me see what I know about that. I just need to pull up my notes really quickly here. We have with Lisa Olson of Lisa Olson Fitness on February 13th at 10:30 Mountain Time. We've got coming up. We also have my course, Prioritize with Power, starting in March. And you can check that out at prioritizewithpower.com and mark your calendars. Unstuck the event. If you missed it this past year, you don't want to miss it again. We will be in a hybrid situation on October 25th through the 27th. I hope to see you somewhere along the line, somehow in the coming month. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I appreciate you. We'll see you next month.